Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're breaking down the exact step-by-step strategies you need to absolutely conquer the PSI real estate exam based on a proven 13-step playbook. If you're gearing up to get your real estate license, you already know this test is the ultimate gatekeeper standing between you and your new career. It can definitely feel daunting, but today we're going to strip away all that anxiety and replace it with pure, actionable strategy. We'll build a comprehensive playbook detailing exactly what you need to do before, during, and in the final moments of your exam. So, let's dive right in.
Now, you might be wondering, what's the big secret? You're probably tempted to look for some magic shortcut or a hidden cheat code to breeze through. But spoiler alert, the real secret to passing doesn't lie in a quick fix. It's actually all about a highly tactical, multi-stage approach to both your prep and your test taking. It's about mixing deep, thorough knowledge with actual test day psychology. We're going to map out exactly how to systematically dismantle this test using a proven framework. All right, here's our game plan for today. We'll cover Phase 1, Pre-Exam Essentials. Then Phase 2, Mastering the Test Environment. Next is Phase 3, Navigating Tricky Questions. And we'll wrap up with Phase 4, Strategic Guessing.
Let's kick things off with Phase 1, Pre-Exam Preparation Essentials.
Look, passing this exam starts way before you ever sit down at the computer. The choices you make in the weeks and literally the hours leading up to the test completely dictate your mental clarity on the big day. You just can't walk in cold. First up, take a live class. It forces you to actually pay attention without home office distractions like your phone buzzing every 5 seconds. Second, study and take practice exams while all that information is still fresh in your mind. And finally, step 3, which sounds obvious but is so crucial, show up well rested. Say no to that happy hour the night before your 8 a.m. test. Skipping it guarantees you show up with a sharp, clear mind.
Moving right along to Phase 2, Mastering the Test Environment. Picture this. You're sitting in the exam room, and the clock is ticking. This phase is entirely about how you manage your time and interact with the digital interface. You might have colleagues who brag about finishing early, and hey, if you can do that, great. But seriously, do not schedule lunch plans an hour and a half after your test begins. You're given 3 full hours, so plan to use the whole block. If you rush just to make a lunch date, you'll end up sweating in your seat when you realize you still have 25 questions left and only 10 minutes to spare.
And before that timer even officially starts, do yourself a massive favor and take the online test tutorial. This exam is way too important to lose points just because you couldn't figure out the clunky online calculator or how to flag a question to review later. The last thing you want is a completely avoidable technology barrier getting in the way of your actual real estate knowledge. Just use the tutorial time to get comfortable.
Now here's a huge warning about a really common testing myth called memory dumping. You might be planning to memorize a ton of formulas and immediately scribble them all down onto your scratch paper the second the clock starts. Actually, scratch that. Do not do this. It is strictly prohibited on this exam. If a proctor sees you doing this, you'll get a swift reprimand, and it could seriously jeopardize your whole session. Just keep it in your head until a specific question actually asks for it.
All right, let's get into the weeds with Phase 3, Navigating Tricky Questions.
This is where we see how your eyes and your brain, working at totally different speeds, can accidentally lead you right into expertly laid traps. The PSI exam is infamous for questions that seem simple on the surface but are actively testing your attention to detail. Take this question. Who retains legal title of real property in an installment contract? If you read this too quickly, your mind races. You might vaguely remember your instructor talking about the difference between offeror and vendor, and in a rush, you select offeror. Guess what? You're wrong. The answer is vendor. Because your eyes scanned it too fast, you picked the wrong option. Always, always read every single question at least twice.
Another massive trap? Negative phrasing. You are almost guaranteed to encounter wording like everything but, everything other than, except for, and of course, a tiny little not. Overlooking a single not in a sentence literally flips the entire meaning of the question and will absolutely cause you to pick the wrong answer. You have to read the wording with intense care, so 3 little letters don't become the reason you fail.
You also have to stick strictly to the script. If information isn't in the question, please do not add it. A perfect example of this is a RESPA violation scenario. If a question describes someone offering an item of value to someone else and then asks who violated RESPA, don't just assume the other person accepted it. If the text doesn't explicitly state that the offer was accepted, the only violator is the person who made the offer. Bottom line, don't invent context that isn't there.
And finally, Phase 4, Strategic Guessing and Elimination.
No matter how much you study, you are eventually going to face a massive wall of text or a question where multiple answers seem totally correct. How you handle these specific moments of uncertainty is what pushes your score over the passing line. When the exam throws truckloads of extraneous details at you, recognize it for what it is, a deliberate tactic to overwhelm you. First thing, stop and breathe. Second, simplify the question by ruling out the extra noise. And third, if multiple answers seem right, remember that one is always fundamentally better. Trust your gut and pick the superior answer.
25%. That is your baseline survival statistic. You have to answer every single question on the exam because leaving an answer blank is 100% wrong. But if you guess on a standard 4-option multiple-choice question, you instantly secure a 25% chance of getting it right. Never, ever leave a question blank, even if you are totally stumped.
Now here's the best part. You can dramatically improve that 25% baseline by using the process of elimination. Even if you have absolutely no idea what the right answer is, if you can rule out just 1 or 2 blatantly wrong choices, you are drastically stacking the statistical odds in your favor. Think about it. Eliminating 2 wrong answers turns a 25% shot in the dark into a 50-50 coin flip. Work the odds.
So as we wrap up this explainer, let's zoom out and look at your ultimate passing strategy. The biggest takeaway here is that there are simply no shortcuts. Thorough study, ideally jump-started by a live class, combined with this exact playbook, reading twice, ignoring extraneous info, managing your time, and strategic guessing is your true ticket to success.
I'll leave you with this. Will you let a single missed knot stand between you and your real estate license? Take a hard look at your study habits today. Ask yourself if you're truly prepared to walk into that 3-hour arena, block out all the noise, and execute this strategy flawlessly. You've got the tools right here. Now, it's time to get out there and put them to work.